What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Black Line Brief. I'm your host, Matthew McKim. We are going to get into it today. Glad to see you, Glenn Coco. I was seeing if you were there in Baron's chat. I said hi to you. I also said hi to Dulcinea V. Interesting show. And while things are fresh on my mind, hopefully this isn't too loud. Let me turn it down a little. All right. While things are fresh on my mind from Baron's podcast, I want to go into some things. I don't know if he didn't look it up or not, but the 19th Special Forces group that the Qureshi and that David guy with the long hair, it's all right there. It's all right next to UVU. It's insane. So I think that should be one of the first things we look into tonight. We're also going to continue with the timeline. There's some other things I want to show you guys, but while it's fresh on my mind, I want to show you guys how close. Let's see, where is it? Here. Okay. Let me make sure you guys can see it. Where's my mouse? There it is. Oh, that's my face. There we go. Hold on, guys. All right. So, all right. Well, maybe I should show you guys who he's talking about first. Let's go to Barron's. Okay. So if you guys have been following Barron the last few days, he went over the other suspect on the 911 call. I forget the kid's first name, but last name Qureshi. It's Zain Qureshi's older brother. Barron went over it again today that they have their wedding date scheduled for this year on one. And then on the registry, it's on a different date. So on two different dates, it's May, then June. But then he looked up their wedding, their marriage certificate, and they actually were married on September 25th, shortly after. And yes, there is a unique spousal privilege law in Utah. And it does seem a little bit suspicious that, they're saying they're getting married. They're already legally married. They have two different dates. The Qureshi's father has 30 years in the military and was awarded a multi-million-dollar government contract. A lot of suspicious stuff. So Zain Qureshi is part of the 19th Special Forces unit. And let's see, I'll show you the dude's face who I'm also talking about. This guy, David. And the reason why I'm going to use Barron's show from today is because I went on X. I mean, he changed his name, so his new profile doesn't have any of this on there. I'm not sure where Barron was able to find it, but we'll use his show just to look at a couple things. But so this gentleman plus Zain, the Qureshi younger brother, let me go back to it where it's right there. This gentleman, Zain Qureshi, okay, which is the younger brother of the guy that was running around from hospital to hospital with the long gun, okay? We're both part of the 19th Special Forces group, okay? So first, let me explain a little bit about the 19th Special Forces group, those of you that might not know, okay? The 19th Special Forces Group is an airborne, it's an elite U.S. Army National Guard unit, Green Berets, under the Special Forces Command, headquartered in Utah with units across several states, but the headquarters are in Utah, okay? So that means the major command structure and decision-making for this unit would be in Utah. They are highly trained part-time soldiers who perform the same unconventional warfare, counterterrorism, and foreign internal defense missions as active duty counterparts. Okay, the National Guard status, it talks about reserve component unit, allowing members to live as civilians while training 1 weekend a month. Well, headquarters is in Draper and Bluffdale, Utah, and they also have other battalions in Washington, West Virginia, Ohio, Rhode Island, Colorado, which we can look into later because we knew there was a lot of weird flights from Colorado into Texas, which is another state that there's a 19th Special Forces unit. So we know that the flights on the day before, when the whole Fort Huachuca thing was going on, there were flights in and out of Colorado, Las Vegas, and Texas, and then obviously Fort Huachuca as well to Sierra Vista. All right. They are unconventional warfare training guerrilla forces, conducting sabotage and subversion in hostile territory, including reconnaissance, counterinsurgency, and direct action. Let's see, global and domestic response deployed globally, Afghanistan, Iraq, and used for state emergencies or disaster relief. Qualified in parachuting, HALO, that's high altitude, jumping, combat, diving, and ground mobility. All right, now let's go over to the map. All right, so there's a couple places to look at. Let me make sure you guys can see it. All right, cool, you can. All right, right here, this is Camp Williams, okay? This is one of the locations that Barron brought up about the 19th Special Forces Group, okay? And let me zoom out. So, and then here's also over here, this is the Utah National Guard Reserve, which is also part of this 19th Special Forces Group. And I'll show you. So here's this Camp Williams. And then right over here is Utah Valley. Let me see. When I zoom out, I always lose it, but it's right here. I don't want to zoom in too fast. I might have to type it in real quick. It'll pull me right to it. Hold on. Oh, I already have it marked. All right, I was close to it. All right, so I'll zoom out so you guys can see how close this is. Let me go slow. Okay. So this lake is it's a good identifying marker. So here's UVU, all right, right here. Okay, this lake right here. And so Camp Williams, let me go like this. Camp Williams right here, okay? And let me exit out, and then I'll show you Utah National Guard is right here. There's another one. Here's the Draper headquarters. Go to it, click on it. Okay, it's clicking to that same one. Let me go back. Oh, that's why. Let's see, not West Jordan. Let me exit out of this. Hold on. No, wrong one. Hold on, let me go here. All right. Okay, so I'll just do it manually. All right, so here's the other base right here. So it's all around here is what I'm saying. So this is a massive National Guard base. It comes all the way up around this like mountain. Okay, right here, Utah National Guard. That's on the base, but that's not part of what I'm talking about today. And then where's Williams at? I had it on here. Camp Williams is right there. Okay. So it's all, and there's like quite a few. They're all scattered in here. How did I do it earlier when I did like National Guard Utah? All right, so now it's going to show me all of them. So we got one here, Utah Army National Guard recruiting. Some of these are just recruiting, but I mean, there is just a lot of it all around here. And the 19th Special Forces is at Camp Williams, which is right in here, okay? And then UVU is right. I'm going to have to click it again because my eyes, man, are all messed up. UVU. Right here. So I don't think it's by coincidence that some of the individuals that are the most suspicious and that were there on that day and that seemingly are linked to this in multiple different ways, whether that be through Timpanogos, through, the 19th Special Forces, it's all right around here. It's all right around here in Utah. And then I also wanted to show, hold on. I don't know how to spell Timpanogos. Let's see. Let's see if it'll correct for me. My spelling is going to be horrible. Regional Hospital. Where did it go? Is this it? Why isn't it clicking on it? All right, then I'll just put in UVU and see if it gives me the directions. All right, so it's that far away. So here's UVU. Whoa. UVU's right here. Okay. And then Timpanogos is just right up here. And I think it was David Koreshi's or one of the guys on Barron's show actually was an ER. He works in the ER at Timpanogos. I mean, there's just too many coincidences, in my opinion, for this to be, well, for it to be a coincidence. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't buy that it's a coincidence. There's that many people connected to this, and they all have ties in this area and ties to places they went that day. And, you know, it's just crazy. All right, let's get into the next thing. That was the main point I wanted to point out, was that the 19th Special Forces Group is located right there. It's just right there, which is, to me, insane. All right, some of the people that were there for the live today, for the members only live, got to see this. I'll play it through without interrupting, and then I'll comment at the end. But I wanted everyone to see this because a lot of people don't even know this exists. And I think it's important for those that weren't at the member live to see it here, okay?
All right.
And just one last quick question.
Be the next 2 or 3. Go ahead. Yes,
Sorry,
sir.
guys, this will be 10 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. Dr. Turk, huge fan of yours, and Charlie. I actually watched him daily. And I applied for that ambassador role that you're looking to fill, so look for me on that pile as well.
All right.
But yeah, I love the presentation, especially the Jack Nicholson bit. I have that whole monologue memorized, funny enough, so just a side point. A lot of questions that I would love to ask, but I guess I'll just say what's on my heart lately, which is that I respect both you and Candace Owens and y'all's commitment to truth. And when prominent
I don't respect
Christians,
her commitment to truth because I don't think she has one right now.
okay, gotcha. I guess the question, which can be applied more broadly, you know, because when I see prominent Christians disagree on,
Hey, let me add something to this. You don't accuse people of murder without really good evidence.
I agree.
Anything is possible. Not everything is reasonable.
No,
Erica
I totally agree
Kirk
with that.
had nothing to do with the murder of her husband.
Oh, I completely agree.
Then why is Candace Owens suggesting she's involved?
That's a great question.
Okay, end of story.
Okay.
Move on. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I've had enough of it.
That's fair. And I thought that might be the case. It's just for someone in my position where I like and respect you, and what I've seen from her and the truth is that when I see prominent Christians disagreeing publicly, how are we as believers?
You're calling her a prominent Christian. The way she's been behaving? Slander?
Well, so I've seen a lot of stuff that she said, but I've also seen a lot of misrepresentation of truth in the media.
You know,
right?
when I talked about her right after the murders, when she started coming out with this stuff, I started quoting scripture. You know what she said? Oh, he's using scripture to manipulate. Oh, that's just it. Go to scripture.
I've seen that. And I definitely don't support that.
Has she gone to scripture on anything?
Oh yeah, I definitely don't support that side of it for sure.
All right.
I'm very new in my faith as well. I'm chasing truth, and when I'm getting all the information, I'm so distrusting of the big establishments and government, everything like that.
I get that. That's what Candace Owens is feeding off of.
Of course.
Yeah.
So how are we as believers supposed to discern that truth without going the cynical?
Hey guys, can you guys tell me something real quick? Does my audio sound off? Everyone in the chat, is it too loud? I just got notified that the audio sounds off. Let me go down to the bottom. Audio sounds okay. Does the audio sound okay to everybody? Sounds fine. Sounds fine. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. My audio when I speak sounds fine, and when I play the video, it sounds fine. Okay. There's an echo. Does anyone else hear an echo? There's an echo. Huh. Let's see. Let me go to my mic. Oh, yeah. I see it, guys. I got it. Okay. It's gone now. Right? Echo's gone now, though, right? Yeah, you can hear the dog. Yeah, dog just barked in the background. But now the echo's gone, correct? I just switched it. Yeah. Because I don't know. It's so weird. I've been on my, I've been working this whole time on here, and it like auto changed one of the defaults to the MacBook. And so sometimes it would pick up. Yeah. Okay. I fixed it though. We're good now. We're all back. It's all good. Thank you guys. All right. I'll continue. All right.
tribal route.
What does the Bible say about convicting somebody? You have to have at least 2 witnesses.
Right.
Okay, where are these witnesses that Erica Kirk or me or anybody else is involved in Charlie's murder?
So I haven't seen her say that you're involved in Charlie's murder. And I like and respect what I've seen from you. And
no, she won't say it outright, but other people send me emails. You were involved, and they're watching her.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's the evidence that Candace Owens or Mikey McCoy or Andrew Colvett or anybody on her staff?
I don't think she's saying that there's evidence to that. What I find.
Well, then shut up.
Yeah, I think.
Why are you slandering these good people who are going through the crisis of their lives?
No, I think that's a totally fair question. I think she's just finding the FBI narrative and all of that to not be believable, which so many agree with, and that's what she's focused
the FBI,
on.
There is no FBI narrative because they haven't revealed it yet. Because if they reveal it, they're going to jeopardize their case. The prosecution's job is not to quell internet's conspiracy theories. The prosecution's this is the 3rd night of this. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do this.
The prosecution's job is to convict the real killer. Mm-hmm. If they start revealing stuff that they have in their case, they're going to jeopardize the jury. They're going to jeopardize their witnesses. Do you guys know this?
That makes sense, yeah.
Do you know in the O.J. Simpson trial that there was, I can't remember who it was, but a witness came forward and the prosecution told everybody they have this witness. The media went after that witness. She sold her story to the media, then she was invalidated as a witness. This is not the way you conduct investigations. The prosecution holds all that very, very close to the vest because their job is to convict the real killer.
That makes sense.
So there is no FBI narrative other than they think they have the real guy. His name is Tyler Robinson. And obviously there's enough evidence to hold him in jail indefinitely. Otherwise, somebody would let him go. And let me ask you a question. If he is not guilty, don't you think his parents would be screaming right now?
Yeah, I'm going to keep playing, but I did break this down in the members only, and I waited enough, and now that members only is live to it's open to the public, and you guys can hear that if you want to go back and watch. Those that aren't members yet can go back and watch that. But you can really see Frank's character on full display here in how he's like yelling and attacking this kid, right? He's projecting all of his anger that's for Candace at this kid that's just asking questions. It's insane.
Now,
I agree with that.
Okay, so why does Candace Owens say it's not Tyler Robinson?
Can I ask you a question? Is when we see lies perpetuated by the media, government, whoever the case is, which I think is what we've seen a lot of. I think everyone in this room would agree with that. What I've seen from Candace, the reason that I have been watching is mainly because she is questioning the lies, whether that's
what lies?
Well, I mean, there's like whole lists. I mean, she obviously sat down with Erica for a long time and was discussing a lot of that with the science.
So she has a confidential conversation with Erica. By the way, the grieving widow flies from Phoenix all the way to Nashville to sit down with Candace Owens, and then Candace Owens begins revealing what their private conversation was about.
Well, she didn't for a very long time.
Oh, but she's doing it now? Now it's okay.
She's revealing a bit more things as she's questioned a couple things, and she's realized that there have been a few lies, such as like the conversation between the surgeon at the hospital and what he was saying with Erica and with Andrew
was there.
Yeah, I know. That's why.
So what's the lie?
The lie is that Erica told Candace that the surgeon broke.
Yeah, you were there. You weren't on the phone, dude, because this wasn't a phone. This wasn't something that happened in person. This was a 3-way call between Andrew Colvett, the surgeon, and Erica. And Erica's the one that introduced that whole Man of Steel, magic neck, statement that then Andrew comes out and says that the surgeon said it, which we know. Erica's the one disseminating all the lies. The thing about the Jezebel article, the priest praying over him because the Jezebel article, that he was afraid for his life because of this Jezebel article, and so many of the other things, the lies that have been coming out come directly from Erica.
Broke HIPAA rules and said that the bullet, the 30-06, stopped in the neck, and the lie was that a surgeon would not do that, would not say that to a marketing person such as Andrew. And so the lie was that Erica was actually on the phone with Andrew, and that the Superman bullet thing that everyone's been talking about came from her. Like that's just one example, but there's been a lot.
First of all, not every discrepancy is a lie.
I agree with that.
So don't call it a lie. You don't have enough data to call it a lie.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
are saying that I lied because I said we had drone footage coming in.
So this kid is asking questions on behalf of like millions of people. Okay. And he's asking very tough questions in a very public forum to a very prominent figure. And instead of Frank giving this kid some grace and how he responds back to him, the comments seem to be directed at Candace, but he's saying you. Why doesn't he say Candace? He's actually, I don't know if he's doing it on purpose or it's subconscious, but he's saying you to this kid. Like, then you stop lying. Then you shut up to this kid. Whether he's saying it to Candace or not to him, I mean, he should be a lot more clear that he's not yelling at this kid for just asking questions. He's not being very clear. And to me, he's just pissed that he's even being asked any of these questions, that it's so beneath him to have to even justify any of this behavior or to answer questions at all. Shut up, everyone. Stop asking questions and move on.
I've seen that. Yeah,
But
I don't agree.
But when we got there, I didn't know this. There was like 2 stories
was
of
very
people
high.
above us.
I've seen that, yeah.
Who may have just had a phone. I thought it was a drone. It probably wasn't. It wasn't a lie. It was that I didn't.
It probably wasn't. It might have been a this. It might have been a that. I went over that there's no way he could have mistaken drone footage for someone, live streaming directly to him. I mean, was it a pre-recording and then someone sent him a recording of a video? Was he on a YouTube channel or, FaceTiming someone? There's no way that he could mistake video footage from a drone, because he even says he saw the whole crowd. Okay, so that's not from a roof. And he saw so many roofs and it bothered him. And he pointed it out to Charlie. I don't like it, Charlie. Doesn't look good, Charlie. There's too many people. There's too many roofs. And he's not even saying it is a phone. He's not even saying it is someone's phone that he knows for a fact. He's saying it could have been. Oh, well, now that we know that there were people up there, now I can change my story. Now I can say it was this instead of that. It's total lie. It's a total lie.
Didn't know.
I say
that
this
there
all
were
the time.
people 2
You
stories
didn't have the
above
full
us.
information.
Right.
Yeah, you
so
weren't lying.
Stop calling people liars.
Wait, why can't he confirm who gave him the footage? I mean, that would settle it right there. Who was sending him this footage? Why can't he tell us? Well, no, I ended up speaking to the person that sent me that footage, and that person was on the roof, because the person wasn't on the roof. That's why he's not even bringing this up. Why can't he say who was streaming him that footage? Because that would put it to rest right now. Oh no, the person that gave me that footage was on the roof. He told me. I can say that very confidently now. Well, no, he can't say that because it wasn't. For sure, it wasn't, or else he'd be saying that. He's not. In my opinion, everything that came out first, which was the week after when he talks about the drone, that's the truth. But then Brian Harple went on Sean Ryan and said drones weren't allowed, and there were no drones there that day. His statement came out first, and it got them in trouble. And then he started to change it. His first time changing it to possibly being someone on the roof was just a few weeks ago when we found out that there was people on the roof. There was a policeman on the roof and a security guard on the roof. And we saw footage of like a couple people on the roof. That only came out a few weeks ago. He just started changing his story as of like 2 weeks ago.
When you don't have enough information. And that's what she's doing.
Okay, another big one was the text messages where she talks about it, but she doesn't, she has Charlie's text message, Erica has Charlie's text message. There's been a lot of discrepancy. I don't consider myself on the side.
And this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay.
He thinks it's beneath him. Watch his body language. You guys, this is discrepancy. This is ridiculous. I mean, come on, you guys. Do we really have to be doing this? Come on. Do I really need to defend any of my actions and behavior and words? Come on. And the sad thing is after this kid is done, he asks to do one more question, and they all in the crowd shout no. And Frank says no. And it's almost like they boo him out of there. It's so disgusting.
I'm sorry. I was just trying to answer. I'm not trying to.
This is not the way that a friend, it's not the way anybody should treat a widow. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
To say that,
They're going to try to use the widow card, the grieving widow, the grieving widow, the widow, like until, I don't know, maybe 10 years down the line, they're still going to be using this card. Come on, you guys, stop asking questions. She's a widow. How dare you? How dare you? Have you no decency, sir?
oh, these discrepancies, which you just have to take her word for it. And if there are discrepancies, that doesn't mean they're lies.
I agree with that.
Except for when they are lies. Because what he's referencing is that Candace brings out information that she knows to be facts, that she has receipts for, but she doesn't release. So he's talking about the fact that Charlie sent out a text. Here's the crazy thing. Frank got one of those texts. Frank was one of them. It was Dan Flood, Frank Turek, Andrew Colvett got the text. They are going to kill me. And those three people that got that text all knew who Charlie was talking about. It was the people that were threatening him, pulling money, and pressuring him to change his stance on Israel. Okay. Well, what this kid is saying is that, remember, Erica came out before Candace released the text. She places a bet. She baits them, right? She's placing a trap for them. She says a statement, says it's a fact. They come out and dispute it. They lie. And then Candace releases the receipts. Well, Erica came out and said, I have his phone. Remember on Glenn Beck? I have his phone. And there are no such texts. And then Candace released the receipts. Well, there wasn't it wasn't a message. It wasn't a text message. I looked at his text messages. I didn't, like, as a good wife, like, come on, you didn't look through everything. A good wife after an assassination, I'm going to go through every drawer if my wife was assassinated, and I would hope she does the same for me. I'm going to go through every box. I'm going to read every piece of mail. I'm going to go through everything in his phone. I'm going to do everything to try to find any shred, any little piece of evidence that might point me in the direction as to why my husband was killed. Okay. You're telling me she didn't open these other little chat apps to find where this conversation happened? No, she did. She lied. And then she covered it up when Candace released it. And this kid is just pointing out a fact. And he's saying, Frank is saying, that's not a lie. That's not a discrepancy. You just need to take her at her word. Oh, we need to take a proven liar at her word. A proven liar, Frank lies. He's proven to lie. Wants us to take another proven liar at their word. Liar, liar, pants on fire, Frank.
Yeah, can I ask one follow-up to that point? Is that you said you can't treat a grieving widow like that. Totally agree, and that's why Candace didn't touch Erica for months and months. But
now it's okay.
Well, no, it's not that she's attacking the grieving widow. My question is, at what point can we question the CEO of a company?
100%.
Does that make sense?
How about you wait till the trial comes?
How about next year, guys? How about next year when we're embroiled in a war with Iran, when there's way more tantalizing things in the news, when everyone's moved on and everyone has lost their capacity and patience and attention for this, because too many people will. I won't. We won't. This community won't. Barron's community won't. Candace's community won't. However, he's just hoping everyone shut up for a year. Don't ask any questions. Don't point out any weird behavior in Erica for at least a year. Next year, 2027, is when the trial is going to start. That's when how about then, guys? How about then? No, Frank, how about right now?
Okay.
How about you wait till the evidence comes out?
Poor kid.
And Erica wants it to happen sooner rather than later. You know when it's going to start? Probably January of next year. January of next year. This poor woman has to wait for justice.
I pointed this out on the members only. Look at the security guard down there. Watch him, like, he's uncomfortable. He's looking at Frank and then he looks away. It's just weird. I don't know what he knows or what he doesn't know, but it's just interesting if you look at the security guard as he's watching Frank do what he does on the stage right here.
While Candace Owen spews a whole bunch of nonsense and people are eating it up.
Okay.
Without evidence.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I didn't mean to stir anything up like that. I'm trying to, from my perspective, it's almost like I see mommy and daddy fighting. I know you guys aren't mommy daddy, but that's the feeling, right? Where two people
thanks, but no, that's not the way this works. Okay.
Looks at his watch. How long have I been dealing with this BS? All right, thanks, but that's not how the way this works. Let me tell you, boy. Sit down. Let me tell you how this works. Stop thinking. Let me tell you what to think. Stop asking questions. Let me give you the answers.
Don't get to run down a widow on social media and have nobody criticize you for it. All right.
First of all, Candace hasn't complained about any criticism, dude. She's not whining. She's not begging for anyone to stop anything. You guys are attacking her for asking questions and trying to find out who killed Charlie. And because you guys are all in the crosshairs, you're all freaking out.
I agree.
All right. Thank you. Let me move on to the next.
Can I just ask a really quick short one?
No. Thank you. Final question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Right. Let's go here because I want to point out, and I wanted to watch that while I set this up for a second, because that David dude is super, super interesting. The kid that got up and cheered in USA. I want to point some things out that Barron showed on his episode tonight. All right, let me go back to it. Let me make sure this doesn't show anything. Let me go right here. I mean, we should also look at who that girl is cheering, because it wasn't just him cheering. It also was some lady that was right next to him. I want to play this because I want to point something out.
He puts up a video. The video is a very bizarre.
And I mean, Barron needs no introduction, but if you don't know who Barron is, the Real Barron Podcast, the one, the only, the humble host, please go over and like and subscribe and watch his stuff. This has all been taken down. This guy changed his name on X. It's not on there. Go look at his new profile. There's not a single post. So I don't know where he found this, but that's why I'm using Barron's to show this, okay?
Our description of his events, of his version of events. So let me play this and let you hear how he described what happened on this day.
The event opened with music, people throwing hats, and loud exchanges from different parts of the crowd. Some shouted offensive remarks directed at the LGBT community, while others made disparaging comments about the Prophet of Islam. There were also cheers, boos, and offensive hand gestures, mockery.
Does anyone else notice a hint of an accent? Okay, this gentleman doesn't come across to me as like 100% American. I mean, there just seems the way he's delivering what he's saying, it seems like there's a little bit of an accent of some kind. I can't quite pick up on it. But then you look at like the Qureshi family and like what's the older brother, the one that was going around to the different hospitals with a rifle looking for Charlie Kirk on the day of, and September 10th. His middle name is Ahmed, last name Qureshi. I mean, dad was in the military. Some of these individuals, I don't know if they're U.S. citizens 100% or if they're, I don't know, been naturalized or whatnot. But this guy, David, doesn't sound like English was his first language, or if it is, that he does sound like he has like a little bit of an accent. At least that's what I'm picking up on.
The atmosphere carried an energy of confrontation more than dialogue. The first debater tried to persuade Charlie to adopt Mormonism, but the exchange drifted into a disjointed back and forth of opinions. The audience eventually booed him off the platform. Another speaker raised the idea of restricting gun rights for transgender individuals. Citing Donald Trump as an influence, he began to reference statistics and posed a question. Charlie's response turned to the subject of gang violence as a part of the mass shooting statistics. At that,
you're there that day, right? Just, I mean, put yourself in this guy's shoes. I mean, clearly this wasn't written by him. It's written by a lawyer or maybe someone at his command, maybe one of the officers at his National Guard, the 19th Squadron Special Forces Command. He's not delivering it well at all. Number two, he does deviate from it in a minute, and we'll figure out why he would deviate that one time. Number two, if you're there that day, most of the things he says in this letter are just a retelling of events. Why would he even need to read a scripted response like this? It's not like he's saying anything we don't know. It's just, yeah, it's just really bizarre in my opinion.
At that point, I did not see what happened directly. My head was lowered while I listened. When I heard a sharp crack, at first I thought it might have been fireworks or a disruptive prank, so I looked up to the horizon for smoke. When none appeared, I realized it must have been a firearm. My friend reacted in horror, saying Charlie had been struck. His voice and description told me how serious it was. Based on his reaction, I believe Charlie had been gravely injured. I instinctively checked the security team's movement, though I have no affiliation with them.
That's weird. That's weird. I instinctively checked the security team's movement, though I have no affiliation with them. I doubt that that was written. I mean, it does look like he read that. If it was written, why? None of us were thinking that. I mean, based on just what he did and everything we knew about this guy up to this point, none of us thought that there was any kind of connection between him and Charlie Kirk's security team, pointing out that he instinctively, because he's a soldier, looked at the security team's movement and then felt the need to point out, but I have no affiliation with them. Really bizarre. To me now I think you have an affiliation with them. Kind of like when BB came out the next day and was like, Israel had nothing to do with it. Oh, by the way, Glenn, Israel. That's how we're going to say it from now on. Israel. No one was thinking, well, actually quite a bit of us were thinking that, but I mean, many on, that weren't thinking that started thinking about that once you felt the need to come out and say you had nothing to do with it, BB. I mean, just me. All right. I didn't want to do too much of this guy. We all watched it if you were on Barron's, but I do want to show this part. Where's the other clip where he just goes off? I think it's right here. Just so we can get a feel for this guy.
For someone who said he doesn't want to talk about it yet, has talked about it quite a bit. The first video, if it'll play.
All this chatter is absolutely incredible, but I'm actually really burnt. I'm honestly like the happiest person you have ever met in your entire life. And I am absolutely sick of all of my soldiers, including Charlie, dying so you guys can mock each other. Mock away and see what happens.
Dude, so, I mean, I won't be surprised if this guy spent any time at Fort Huachuca, that he got his same acting coach lessons from everyone else. He's clearly acting here. None of this is genuine or authentic. It's so awkward. Anyone with a pair of eyes can look at this and go, what is this guy trying to do? He's not convincing anyone. He's not convincing me. And he's just reading words off a page. Like, okay, bad idea. Another PR blunder.
I am done with my soldiers dying while everyone just mocks each other. Mock, mock, mock. You think that that's a solution? Every major religion speaks out against mockery. And I saw mockery. And I saw a mob just energized with mockery, absolutely laughing. This is John Oliver. This is Matt Walsh. This is Louder with Crowder. This is all the mockery that's existed on both sides of the equation. And it's killing my soldiers, my people, and I'm done.
Who do you think he's talking about? I mean, he's referencing some, public content creators, commenting on political and things happening here in the United States. And then in the next sentence, he talks about his soldiers. Where are they dying? They're dying here in the United States. What does that have to do with Charlie Kirk's assassination? What does that have to do with the reason why you're at the focus of this? It's really bizarre. It's very incoherent. I have no idea what it has to do with anything. It's almost like they're like, just get out there and say a bunch of random stuff. Go whatever way you want to go. Just stay away from this. Just go out there and fly around for a bit. See what lands. All right. That's kind of it. I didn't really want to. I mean, I think it's bizarre that he's him and where is he? Him and this guy are part of the 19th Special Forces unit, and it's stationed right there in Provo, in the area. Deep connections, a lot of people there and they were seemingly there. His brother was there that day, and then that David guy was at UVU that day. Yeah, I can't wait till we find out more. All right, we're going to get back into the timeline. Hey, as you guys come in, we got 100 people here. Please do me a favor, hit the like, hit the subscribe. It's how you can help this channel. I really, really appreciate it, okay? All right, let's get back into the timeline. Yesterday, we left off at Tyler Robinson seen at Cowboys Steakhouse in Panguitch, Utah. And we went over how it's 2 hours and 55 minutes away with like no traffic. And he supposedly was last seen at 7 p.m. In Orem still, okay? And he supposedly made it 200 and, I forget how many miles exactly it was, but it's 2 hours and 55 minutes, 3 hours and 6 minutes away. And he made it in an hour and 45 minutes. I don't really buy that at all. For someone that is trying to elude a national manhunt and not be caught, he's at Dairy Queen. Then what? He's going 120 down the freeway until he gets to another restaurant where he goes on CCTV, gets captured on their cameras and uses his debit card, or even if he uses cash, he's on the camera, right? He's not really worried about being caught, which is like, to me, I don't think he's on the run. I don't think he even knows what's going on yet, personally. That's my opinion. All right, next. So after being seen at the steakhouse in Panguitch, Utah, Tyler Robinson returned to campus and encountered police while attempting to retrieve his rifle. Wait, so he went there. This timeline is saying he went 3 hours away. He did it in an hour and 45 minutes, ate dinner, and he came back up to the campus. Bo Mason, commissioner of Utah Department of Public Safety, confirmed to Fox News that Robinson returned to UVU campus on September 10th, much later in the evening, and made contact with a police officer while attempting to retrieve his rifle. The contents of the interaction were not revealed as it was part of the ongoing investigation. The encounter thwarted Robinson's retrieval attempt. What, they didn't know that they were looking for this kid at 9 p.m. on the 10th? He has an encounter with a police officer near the campus. They couldn't release any more information. We have been able to confirm very recently that he did return to that campus and did make contact with an officer. The contents of that interaction we're not prepared to reveal. We're not prepared to reveal right now. That's part of the investigation and part of the gathering more information. Okay, well, they still haven't revealed it. I mean, that cop is going to have a body cam on. And at the very least, he's going to write up a report about it. Why don't we know what did the cop ask him? What did Tyler say he was doing there? That means that there's also, if he's trying to be on campus or near campus, there's cameras all over that campus, right? And we know that, what's his name? Oh my God, the guy that, the former gubernatorial candidate, Phil Lyman, every house on that street is like his family's, and they all have cameras. Why isn't there footage of this supposed interaction? All right, so now on September 11th, Robinson destroyed, concealed, and removed clothing worn during the shooting. It's one of the counts, count 4, obstruction of justice, a second-degree felony. So Tyler James Robinson, with intent to hinder, delay, or prevent the investigation, apprehension, prosecution, conviction, or punishment of any. Okay, it's just him, trying to get rid of his clothes. Remove the clothing he wore during the shooting, and the conduct that constitutes an offense would be a capital felony. And then it goes, after shooting, Mr. Robinson discarded the clothing he wore when he fired the rifle. Okay, I wish we could see that. I really wish we could see what clothing. There's like 5 different pairs of clothing supposedly that he changed in and out of that day. But he's clearly still wearing the, well, no, actually, if you guys remember, there is the Ring doorbell footage camera of somebody walking. He's wearing shorts, a backpack. He's got a maroon shirt on, a hat. They say that's Tyler. Okay. But in the Dairy Queen footage, it's like a different kind of maroon shirt and he's wearing pants. So it's just, and then supposedly he's also wearing what that kid in the stairwell was wearing, the long black sleeve shirt, the long pants, the glasses, the hat, and the black bag, the one with the eagle and the flag on it. I don't know, man. I really think that these are all different characters. And then the kid limping, the Phil Lyman Ring doorbell footage, the kid limping across in the beginning before he goes on campus. I just don't think that they're all Tyler. In fact, I don't know. I don't think any of them are. I think the only ones that we saw of Tyler that day is the Dairy Queen footage of him. And then the footage that Candace released of the car driving around in the parking lot that was near campus. I mean, they haven't released any footage on campus, near campus, that clearly shows and that it's obvious to us that it's Tyler Robinson. Not in any way, in my opinion. All right, next. We got social media speculation on Israeli role in Kirk death. Thousands of social media users speculated that Israel contributed to Kirk's death. Over 100,000 Twitter X users liked a post declaring Israel just shot themselves. Okay. I mean, yeah, I think we all think that they have something to do with it. Next, we have Bill Ackman tweets about privilege of meeting Kirk. About the privilege of meeting Kirk. Hold on, I got to see something. Okay. Making sure we're good to go. Sorry. All right. So Bill Ackman tweets about privilege of meeting Kirk. Okay. I mean, we know that Bill Ackman put on the Hamptons retreat. Bill Ackman said, I feel incredibly privileged to have spent a day and shared a meal with Charlie Kirk this summer. He was a giant of a man. Yeah, well, we know you put on the Hamptons meeting, and he personally said he felt threatened at that meeting. And yeah, it doesn't seem like that feeling of privilege would have been returned to you from Charlie. Bill Ackman offers $1 million for info on shooter. Okay. All right. No one got that, right? Because they got the shooter 33 hours later, ladies and gentlemen. They got him. So he just put that money out and then took it right back. Oh, or he gave it to Kash Patel. Maybe Kash Patel got to get that money once he got Tyler. Footage showing alleged shooter with a woman is suppressed by FBI. Footage. Wait, let's see. I don't remember this. Do you guys remember this?
So you will recall that we had received a lead live on the show. Someone paid money to inform us that there was footage that the FBI was hiding, right? She wrote in, said, I have been trying to reach out to you everywhere. The FBI is hiding footage. The doorbell cam footage had more. This is what the person told us. She said, the shooter.
That's a pretty clear footage camera. So that is the same kid that's in the other doorbell footage, not the kid limping, because that kid had pants on. And supposedly he was limping because he had a rifle. Well, I showed you the rifle, unbroken down, because it can't be broken down by a screwdriver, is anywhere from 42 to 45 inches long. I'm 6 foot tall. It goes up inside my armpit and all the way down to the floor. It would have been hanging out the bottom of his pants. He wouldn't have been able to bend his leg at all, not even a little bit, not even at all. This kid has shorts on. Tyler Robinson was wearing a maroon shirt and long pants on. Okay. And those do look like Converse, which the dude in the stairwell was wearing, but he's wearing black long sleeve shirt and jeans. So they all are similar clothes. Like they all have like one article together in common. Like one of them has the shoes in common. One of them has the shirt in common, or a hat and a backpack, but none of them have everything in common. I find that to be interesting. And that's why I don't think that I don't think it's Tyler. I don't think any of these are Tyler. And I think Phil Lyman being the one that gave this footage out, it's suspicious that he would have been able to find it and give it directly to TMZ and not to the FBI or the local police.
Is then seen changing his clothes, and he is with a woman. She told me. And then she gives me a name, and that name was another Lyman family member. And that's when my spidey senses started tingling. I'm like, okay, this is a lot of Lymans. Now, I want to be very clear and fair to Phil Lyman. He has been forthcoming about the fact that his family owned that property.
Yeah, he was forthcoming at first, and then even more weird stuff started happening with him. So let me point this out too. They tell us that they have footage of Tyler climbing on the roof at the Losi Center and then changing his clothes on the roof behind that building. Let's see. I can even show you guys real quick. Let me pull it up. Google Maps. And I showed you guys yesterday. Let's go to UVU, Utah Valley. All right, let's zoom in. Oh, I need to share it and need to get you off my face. Okay. So, ooh, I know I'm looking like right at it, but why can't I see it? There it is. All right. So right here. Okay. And let me do the other view. This one doesn't have it. Okay. But anyways, right here is where he climbed up. These are the stairs, supposedly right here. Okay. He would have climbed over a little rail. Let's see if it lets me go in more. All right. You can see it. These are the stairs. They go up right here. They turn. They come up here. And right here. Okay. Right here. You can see my mouse. Yes. Can you see my mouse? I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. No, you can't. That's weird. I need to make it to where you can see my mouse. He comes up here, goes left, and then right here is supposedly where he changes behind this little building into another pair of clothes, and then supposedly low crawls out. Oh, you can see my mouse. I see it now. All right. And then low crawls over here to the supposed shooting position right here. Right there. Okay. So this is where he comes out. I didn't know I can just click on it and make it a little red. Can I? Right there, little dot. Whoa. Yeah, and then crawls out there. All right, let me go back to it. All right. Now, alleged shooting with a woman is suppressed by, and we still never seen that footage. We still never seen it. Law enforcement recover bolt action rifle wrapped in a towel. And that's just on the indictment. I wonder where we will see the photo of the rifle first appear. So governor evades question about how murder weapon was discovered. Yeah, I bet, because we know that the local police searched twice. Then the bomb squad came with the dogs. The dogs searched, didn't find it. And it was supposedly a freshly fired rifle. They would have found it right away. Okay. Then the FBI comes, they do a sweep, don't find it. Then the FBI goes over to two rookie cops and is like, hey, you guys should go look one more time. The dogs didn't find anything. We didn't find anything. Two other sweeps by your department didn't find anything. But you two rookies should just go look right over there. And that's when they find the rifle. Yeah, that's not suspicious at all. And it makes sense why the governor would evade a question on that. Illogical decision to hide weapon nearby after successful escape with rifle. I agree, right? He's going to successfully commit this act and seemingly get away with it, only to the moment he gets off campus. Every decision he made from the moment he got off campus is the dumbest decision ever. So smart that he pulled everything else off. But the moment he gets on campus, every decision that he makes, supposedly that he makes, are actually, those are the things that get him caught. Right. And so, yeah, it's just, it doesn't follow logic, in my opinion. All right. Let's see. The next one is family bewildered by carved bullet casing claims despite not disputing gun ownership. Well, we know that they didn't confirm gun ownership because that black picture, the picture of the black rifle is not it's not their family's rifle. Screwdriver evidence dropped from indictment after disassembly narrative exposed as implausible. Really? I actually didn't know that. Let's look at the indictment. It's not going to. Can I make it bigger? How big is it for you guys? Can you guys see this? It's so tiny. Okay, I won't do that here. I can actually pull it up on a separate page. I'll do that in a second, okay? Or I'll do it right now. I'll put up, let me type it in. All right. Tyler Robinson indictment. All right, and it's, let's see, it's the cloud one. Here we go. Let me share. Okay, you guys can see it better now. I'll make it bigger too. Okay. All right. Let's see where this would be. These are the different counts. Well, okay, it wouldn't be an account. He didn't try to tamper with the screwdriver evidence as part of the evidence. Let's see if they talked about it initially. Was found, DNA was found on the rifle that was consistent with Tyler Robinson. However, what they didn't tell you was that actually the DNA that they tested had 5 different individuals' DNA in it, right? And if it is the family's rifle, of course it's going to have his DNA on it. It's just ridiculous that it wouldn't. Let's see. This is the UVU surveillance investigation. I don't know. Expanded crime scene investigation. This is probably where it's. So the law enforcement officers followed the suspect's escape path to the northeast end of the campus, where they believe the suspect left campus and entered a wooded area. In that wooded area, investigators found a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a towel. They had to say that, by the way, you guys, because when he jumps off the roof, not him, but whoever jumps off the roof, the only thing in that kid's hand is a towel. There is no rifle. So they kind of had to say something about the towel. And supposedly the towel also has DNA on it, but it has 5 people's DNA on it. The rifle contained 1 spent round because it's a bolt action, so there's no clip. So you can only load 1 round at a time, and 3 unspent rounds. So that's my question. Okay. Let me see if I can show you guys this. Let me pull it up. Okay. This rifle, this Mauser, okay, is a, if you guys don't know what a bolt action is, I'll show you. I'll show you right here. Let's see. I'll just pick. Well, we'll do this one because this is the picture of the one. So this is a new one. Okay. This is the picture. This is a one that's similar to the picture that they show on New York Times or whatever. So a bolt action, you guys. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. I got to stop doing that. Okay. All right. This is similar to the picture that we saw online. This is not a World War I version of the rifle. This is a modern version. It's got modern parts. Okay. But a bolt action, this thing right here means you could only load 1 round at a time. There is nowhere else for you to hold a round. There's nowhere else, okay? So when we go, now I'll show you one that is more consistent with what his grandfather's would have looked like, all right? You can see that it's like just totally different. Let's see, of an older one. I don't know which one's the oldest. Oh, this one looks pretty old. Older. Okay. Now, this is a newer one still, but it would have been wooden like this, okay? What? Oh, my goodness, guys. What just happened? How long was it like that? That's bizarre. I'm making all sorts of rookie mistakes tonight. I apologize. Okay. My bad. How long was it black? Lost the pick. Yeah, I saw. My bad, guys. I know what I did. I exited out. I didn't switch tabs. All right. My apologies. All right. This rifle is more similar to what maybe we would have seen. I mean, this is modern still, but it's wood. His grandfather's would have been wood, right? It wouldn't have been all black like that. but still there's no clip. It's got one bolt, one place to load the bullet. And so I just don't understand how they're now claiming, where were these 3 rounds? It says this is inconsistent. You guys can see it, right? It didn't say that the rounds were like wrapped up in the towel. The rounds were on the ground. It's really weird. They have to tie those rounds to him, right? The multiple rounds with the engravings in them. It's part of the indictment. I'll show you. And there had to be a way that they put it in this indictment to try to tie that to Tyler, because it also ties it to the whole text thread between him and Lance, which is crazy. You know, remember when you walked in and I was engraving bullets and you didn't say anything and I just was engraving bullets? Ha ha ha. Yeah. So here it says, this isn't consistent with the facts. Officers observed at the time of and immediately after the shooting, no shell casings were found on the roof, suggesting a bolt action rather than an auto-loading weapon, and only a single round was fired. Right. The rifle contained 1 spent round and 3 unspent rounds. That's weird. And now it kind of contradicts itself. This is consistent with the facts. How? Where did they find the 3 unspent rounds? He left the unspent rounds on the ground? You guys, how stupid would Tyler really have to be? There's no clip, just the bolt. You load it in, so you pull it back, you put the bullet in, you cock it forward, it's loaded. You fire. Most weapons with a clip, after you shoot it, because it auto loads right through the clip, it has to shoot. It has to expel that spent round casing. Okay, the bullet goes out, but the casing flies out the side. Okay, because then it loads the next one and it does it automatically, right? And sometimes if it's jammed, you got to like do it. But a bolt action, the only way the empty casing comes out is if you uncock it. And then you have to manually take another bullet, another round, and put it in and cock it forward. So what? He had 3 bullets in his pocket. And he's like, I'm going to leave the rifle and the towel, which all have my DNA on it. I'm going to leave the spent round in the gun. And then I'm just going to leave 3 other bullets that haven't been used that also have engravings on them. So if they were really confused, they're definitely not going to be confused now. And they're going to know it's me, because now I have that text thread between me and Lance. And that's all going to point directly back at me. So that's, goodness. They just really, they laid it on. So here we go. Each round in the rifle. What? What? Each round in the rifle? There's no way. Hold on. Let's look at this. Yeah, they're all just bolt action. What is going on? Each round in the rifle. Let's see. Can I go back? Let me go here. Oh, I did it to you guys again. Oh my gosh, what is going on today? This is, I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Please forgive me. I'm all over the place. I really apologize. All right, so yeah, you can see it's just a bolt action. There's no other place for any other bullets. And it says right here, each round, okay, each round in the rifle contained an etched inscription as follows. That's so weird. Why are they saying that? Notices, okay, I'm not going to read each one. You guys can read it. You can see it. Okay. The rifle ammunition rounds and towel were sent to forensic processing. DNA consistent with Robinson's was found on the trigger, other parts of the rifle, the fired cartridge casing, 2 of the 3 unfired cartridges, and the towel. What, one of the third ones didn't have it? That's weird. and they don't tell us where. This is so weird because you guys, there is no other place for those 3 rounds. They said they were found in the rifle. Okay, law enforcement was unable to immediately locate the shooter, so they published photos of the shooter from the UV surveillance cameras and asked for the public's help to identify him. Meanwhile, law enforcement continued to try to identify the shooter through other means. All right, let's go back to the timeline. I kind of diverted quite a bit about that, but because I just don't think they actually, I don't know. I have so many questions about the rifle. They don't show the picture of the rifle. They show a different rifle. Now they're saying that they found 3 unspent rounds in the rifle, but it only holds 1 round at a time. They don't say that on the DNA that they tested, there was 5 people's DNA. 1 of them is consistent with Tyler Robinson. So they're kind of misrepresenting the DNA evidence. They initially talked about the screwdriver as being part of it, but it's inconsistent with actually how you break down this old rifle. You don't use a screwdriver at all. It can't break anything down on there with the screwdriver. And supposedly they found that on the roof, but then they dropped it out of the indictment. So, I mean, there's just so many weird things about this. So it's just bizarre. All right. FBI press conference. I don't know. Do you guys, I don't think we need to watch that. If you guys want to watch that, put it in the chat. And in a second, I'll look at the chat and then I'll go back and click on it. So that's at 7:19. That must be, okay, so this is the morning of the 11th. So 7:19 a.m. is the press conference. Robinson's father reported that when his wife showed him the surveillance image of the suspected shooter in the news, he agreed that it looked like their son. He also believed that the rifle that police suspected the shooter used matched a rifle that was given to his son as a gift. As a result, Robinson's father contacted his son and asked him to send a photo of the rifle. Robinson did not respond. However, Robinson's father spoke on the phone with Robinson. Robinson implied that he had planned to take his own life. Robinson's parents were able to convince him to meet at their house. That's also a lie. Okay, you guys, at no point did he say he was suicidal. Okay, because he was actually he was afraid that the cops were going to kill him, right? And his parents were as well. And that LDS friend of theirs, they helped facilitate a peaceful, what is it called? When he gave himself over to the police. You can't be suicidal and be afraid you're going to die, And there's no way the parents saw that photo of the kid in the staircase and said, that looks like my son. And there's no way they saw that photo of that black rifle on the news and said, that's my grandfather's rifle, because it's not. That's a modern one with modern parts. It's black. It doesn't look like a World War I era authentic Mauser. Not at all. So that's not even, it just doesn't add up. Let's see. And talks about the indictment there. Next, we have at 12:20, Robinson texts roommate about father calling about rifle. Let's see. I can go back to the indictment. That's probably further down. Let's see. Let me go here. Okay, you guys can see it. Okay, the text exchange then took place. Here we go. After reading the note, the roommate, I'm still okay, my love, but no, I read this one yesterday. I think it's down here. Only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. How convenient. How convenient. Remember how I was engraving bullets? The blank messages are mostly a big meme. If I see, okay. On Fox News, I might have a stroke. All right, I'm going to have to leave it. That really sucks. I'm not going to say the cuss words. Judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun does just fine. Man, they really tried to paint him as just a really callous, cold-blooded. I think that was a $2,000 scope. And then now this is part of one of the indictments because he asks the roommate, Lance Twiggs, to delete this exchange. My dad wants photos. Here's the text. Okay. My dad wants photos of the rifle. He says, Grandpa wants to know who has it. The feds released a photo of the rifle. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Watch this. Hold on. Tyler Robinson. Let's see. Rifle photo. Let me go to images. Here we go. Why isn't it? Oh, it's going to Facebook. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Hopefully this doesn't mess with the stream. All right. Okay. Look at guys. This is not in any way. Okay. And why is it in a box, guys? Why is it in a box? Okay. Because it's not his grandfather's rifle. This is a modern version. And the scope is on backwards, by the way. It's all messed up. This isn't Tyler's dad's grandfather's rifle. Okay. Not at all. Like I said, his grandfather's rifle would look more something like this. Let me exit. Oh my goodness. All right. It's just a wooden one, this wooden one, but I'm not going to zoom in. It's going to be all messed up. It would look like an actual World War I era rifle, not some black composite material rifle. So there's just no way that his dad looked at that and was like, "Oh, that's my dad's rifle." He says Grandpa wants to know who has it. The feds released a photo of the rifle, and it's very unique. Oh, I shared the wrong thing. I need to share this one. Sorry. I have so many tabs open. I'm doing a bad job tonight. I hope you guys forgive me. I really do. Please forgive me, guys. So he says it's very unique. He's calling me right now, not answering. Robinson, since Trump got into office, my dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. That's so weird. No one, so weird. I'm going to turn myself in willingly. One of my neighbors here is a deputy for the sheriffs. Okay. Well, that's not what we were told happened, right? The parents and this LDS member reached out to Tyler. You are all I worry about, my love. I'm much more, and then roommate says, Lance Twiggs, I'm much more worried about you. Robinson says, don't talk to the media, please. Don't take any interviews or make any comments. If any police ask you questions, ask for a lawyer. Stay silent. Right. Okay. That's not scripted at all. That sounds like someone put something in a chat GPT. You know what I mean? It's crazy. All right, let's go to the next point. Robinson directs roommate Lance Twiggs to stay silent. I read that. George Zinn, right? The paid distractor. They found child images on his phone and laptop. That's pretty convenient. He's arrested. He's gone for 15 years now, even though he said, someone paid me, or someone said they were going to pay me to be a distraction, right? All right. Netanyahu memorializes Kirk on Fox News. Yeah, that wasn't weird either, right? Let's see. Family friend reports to police about Robinson's clothes. Who? A family friend spoke to police and reported telling Robinson that it would be best if he brought all evidence with him to sheriff's office to avoid police having to search his parents' home. Well, why? He lived somewhere else. The family friend also asked Robinson, this is that LDS guy, that former cop, if he had any clothes that were related to what he did. Robinson replied that he had disposed of the clothes in different areas. Convenient. So that's also part of the indictment. All those different charges of discarding and tampering with evidence. Tyler Robinson's family allegedly placed in witness protection by federal authorities and instructed to remain silent. Okay, I mean, has that not been confirmed? because a lot of people are wondering like why certain people haven't talked. The family was instructed to remain silent and not speak to anyone, with authorities claiming someone could harm them because of what Tyler allegedly did. The family initially agreed, but later became suspicious of federal motives. Yeah, I would say so. All right, now that's the last data point on the 11th. Now we're on September 12th. Police execute search warrant at Robinson's residence and find matching evidence. Police executed the search warrant, Robinson's residence in Washington County. During that search, police discovered a shell casing. Interesting. Just one, though, with etchings similar to the etchings found on the shells, right? Well, definitely could have been Lance Twiggs. We don't know for sure that it was Tyler, or the FBI that found the rifle, that it just mysteriously appeared after they did their last search. They're the ones that went and did this search warrant. They found this one unspent casing around that had the etchings in it as well. Yeah, okay. Recovered near UVU. Police also found several targets with bullet holes in Robinson's home, indicating previous firearm practice. Yeah, but how does that tie to anything on the day of? People can keep targets for future times they go to the range. Maybe they shot really well that day and they want to remember how good they shot on that day. How do we even know that it was recent? It could have been from when he went with his grandfather or with his dad when he was a kid. Could have been Lance Twiggs. It doesn't mean it's Tyler's. So it's kind of weird. They're saying that on the indictment and claiming it's evidence. Cox holds press conference announcing Robinson's arrest. Yeah, we know. Let's see. Oh, and this is where he references details on Robinson's arrest, the Discord messages, the bullet engravings, finding the rifle, changes in clothing, and speaks to political violence. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Cox is asked how the gun was obtained. Yeah, so, I read this the other day. We obtained the gun. The gun was found here. So I don't have much more details on that. We do. I'm reading it verbatim, guys. This is what it says. We do that. That he drove. We had his car here on campus, and then this is like literally the transcript. And then and then we had his car going south back to the St. George. It's actually the city of Washington in Washington County. That didn't make sense at all. Cox draws, so this is next on the 12th at 9:20 a.m. Cox draws a comparison to JFK assassination. Why? This could be, again, you have to go back to JFK. You would have seen a video live of something like this happening. I wasn't born until 1975, but I know that things were really dark in the late 60s. That's weird that he's comparing the two. I mean, does he not realize that the person that everyone publicly has said didn't do it? Lee Harvey Oswald wasn't the lone gunman in the book depository and shot Oswald. Like, we all know that now. It's just common knowledge. You know what I mean? All right, let's see. We got some 4 supers I'm going to read. We got Mystic. Okay, Charlie would be beside himself with Frank's. Oh, I can click on it. That's right. Charlie would be beside himself with Frank's conduct. Yeah, to that kid. Super disgusting. And I responded to that in the chat that I never once saw Charlie raise his voice, lose his temper, become aggressive in any way with his body language or his tone to any person that ever asked him a question. Even that kid with the horn that was being that had his backpack on backwards in previous campus tours, a previous campus event. He was never rude. He never pulled what Frank did there. Thank you, Mystic, for your super. Now we have Apocalypse Now. Frank Turek just exposed his true self. I agree, 100%. Thank you for that. And then Mystic, again, thank you for the super sticker, Mystic. And then we have Julia Pierce, Matt, and the Blackliners. I like that. I think that's what we're going to be called. I think we're going to be called the Blackliners. I think that's going to stick. Okay. Yeah, he was next level respectful. I agree. Oh, I got to unclick that or else it's going to stay there the whole time. All right. Let's see. We're at 120. We'll go a little bit more. And then let me see if there was something else I wanted to show you guys, actually. Let me exit out. Oh, yeah. I'll show you this because for those of you that were with me in the members only, and those of you that, oh, no. It did it. All right. I'm going to refresh. Don't go anywhere. It'll happen quick. I'm going to refresh really fast. All right. I don't know why it does that, man. It's only with certain tabs. When I go to add certain tabs to the show, it says, make sure it's not the wrong mic again and you guys have an echo again. It says it loses connection. I don't get why it does that. It's despicable. Do you guys remember those of you that were at the members live today? And I was about to say those of you that weren't, I've made it available to the public. I don't know in the future, like how long I'll wait. Maybe I need to wait longer than a day so that other members that weren't able to be present can get access to the member only live first. Maybe it'll be like a few days before I make it public to everyone. Because I did cover some really cool stuff in there. But in the video that we see of Erica Kirk at that high school in Chicago, she says something about being heaven focused more so now than ever before. And I'm going to play a short clip because anytime I can play a clip of Charlie, I'm going to, because I miss him a lot. Oh, and Frank, I think it was on Frank, right? Where was it? Where somebody was accusing that they are deleting or they're making private, or they're removing. Maybe aren't deleting, but they're removing or they're making private. They're doing something with some of his videos. They are. I've gone on all the different, platforms that he's had, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, whatever, the different channels he had, and you can't access everything. I think it was Graham. Yeah, it was the Graham Allen, when he went on Gary, or when Gary played that of Graham saying, attacking Candace for not knowing what she was talking about because she had posted on X that people at TPUSA were making some of his stuff, some of his content was either being deleted, removed, or made private. And they thought they debunked him because some schmo over at TPUSA was like, that's totally false. You don't know what you're talking about. But it really is. Some of his stuff is not on his channel anymore. Renita Sophia, thank you. You noticed that too. Yes. All right. Let me show you this because I like it. Let me make sure my timestamp is right. 1:6:22. Okay. Yes.
Spends way too much time on the third question. Where am I going? That's important. But if you're only heaven focused and not earth focused, then you're actually not fulfilling what Jesus told us to do. Now, separately, if you're only earth focused and not heaven focused, that is not at all what Jesus wants us to do because his kingdom is not of this world. This is one of the reasons why we as evangelicals have struggled to build institutions that last.
And that was it. It's a short clip because it's just, I really do think that even though they have this whole Make Heaven Crowded tour event, I don't really, it's not like a Harvest Crusade. They're going and just talking. It's not, and I don't like the Harvest Crusades anymore. I don't like Greg Laurie. He creeps me out. Everything that I found out about him this year, he's a despicable person. And I can say that in all honesty. When you go look at his connection to that dude in Romania and the orphanage that he allowed this guy to be a part of. Sorry, I just had to fix my seat. I'm not trying to jump around in my seat like some people said about Jesse, but he allowed this guy to remain the leader of this orphanage for decades and give him $17,000 in his private account, allowing him to further have more victims for 4, 5, 6, 7 years longer than he should have. Even after the investigation was done, because other pastors were like, you need to get rid of this guy. They did the investigation. The investigation was like, you guys need to get rid of him. And Greg Laurie leaves him in place. So it's not like this Heaven Crowded tour is actually some sort of outreach evangelical tour. We watched the first one. I also don't know why they're not broadcasting the other stops on the tour. I think they know they don't want to give us any more content. There has been other events. I just can't find them online. But anyway, I think she is earth focused and not the right kind of earth focused. I don't think she's heaven focused. Yeah. And so it's just another thing, things that Charlie talk about that is just completely opposite, in my opinion, than what Erica says and does now that he's gone. And I just find that to be just one more thing, one more data point. Oh, I want to show you this too, because this ended up being a lie. Let me make sure I got the timestamp correct for you guys. Okay. This one part we did not cover last time. It's just one small part. It is 136.50. Okay.
On the Hodgwins podcast, because that's a layup interview. Let's talk about her and Charlie's relationship. It is also known by everyone that the thing that gave Charlie literal ulcers from anxiety and worry was Candace Owens.
Here's the thing, you guys. Where is he getting this information? He's not claiming a source. He's not quoting anyone. So the only way he could say that with complete confidence is if Charlie told him this. Charlie didn't tell him this, or else he would say that. He's not saying that. Charlie didn't say that. He's just putting words in his mouth like everyone else, like Gary and Frank and Erica and everyone else. Okay. And I'll play. This was the most recent. Let me pull it up. This is the most recent before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Let's see. Yeah, I think, yeah, here it is. Hold on.
How is your relationship with Candace Owens nowadays?
She's a great friend.
She's-
Look, I don't agree with everything Candace says, but you know what I don't do? I don't stop being friends with people just because people morally blackmail me. I don't do that, and you shouldn't either.
Good.
I have different views on things as Candace. I have different views on Israel than Candace. I have different views on a lot of geopolitics. But honestly, I traveled the country with Candace. I went to her wedding. I saw her meet her husband. I went to Israel with Candace, which is a fun story I'll tell you at some point. But what I don't like is when people demand, you must stop being friends with somebody. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's a left-wing tactic. Don't do that. I'm not saying you do that, but other people do that. We should never resort to that. In fact, if you believe what I believe should.
And that's enough of that, because he clearly didn't stop being friends with Candace and gave no indication at all that Candace was the reason why he had ulcers. In fact, the way I read this, okay, is that when she called, right, and he's around all those people at TPUSA that have been trying to get him to stop being friends with her. That's what he's referencing in that clip. People are trying to tell him, stop being friends with her, stop talking to her, don't have her on, don't platform her. You need to defriend Candace and Tucker. And imagine he knows how they all feel about Candace. They've made it very clear, okay, that when she would call, how uncomfortable do you think it made him? He loved Candace. He was still friends with her. He defended her up until August, okay, just the month before. But he has to talk to her on the phone in front of these people. In my opinion, that is what would give him ulcers. Those people around him, their judgment, their condemnation, their pressure on him to stop being friends with her. He was clear he wasn't going to stop doing that. He was friends with her to the end. Okay. Same with Tucker. But they weren't going to stop badgering him about it. So my reading of this is that when she would call, he was anxious and or whatever was getting ulcers because of them. That's how I read that. Not because of Candace. So Graham Allen, I think, is a liar. He just lied. or else he could have said, Charlie told me this. Who else told you this? Who else could it have been? Oh, Tyler Robinson, Erica Kirk, Andrew Colvett. Oh, they're the ones that telling you this because those are the ones at TPUSA. Who told you this, Graham? Was it Charlie? No, it wasn't Charlie.
It is known
By who?
by everyone inside.
Oh, and we trust everyone inside, Graham. We trust Andrew and Erica. No, we don't. Read the room, dude.
That whenever Candace would come up, Candace is calling, she wants something, or she wants to talk about something, or she wants to come this, she wants to come that. Charlie would be riddled with such anxiety that other people would have to talk to Candace for Charlie because Charlie knew what Candace actually was. It's like that scene from Halloween. I don't know how many of you have seen that, but
how disgusting does this person have to be? We just saw the clip of Charlie in August defending Candace publicly. We also know in the text thread where he says, I'm done with Israel, he goes, and I'm going to have Candace on. And then whoever that handler is like, don't do it, Charlie, don't do it. And we know that Lori Cardoza Moore is like, you need to stop being friends with Candace. You need to publicly condemn her, not be friends with her, not have her on. You need to distance yourself from her and Tucker. He doesn't. I'm thinking people take the phone. People interrupt, her calling and intervene. I don't know. But I don't think Charlie looks at the phone and goes, oh my gosh, Candace is calling. Take this. I can't deal with her. She's giving me ulcers. You deal with her. Make an excuse. Make something up. Make her go away. I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. Not at all. All right. How's everyone doing in the chat? Yeah, he's such a good pastor. He taught us Proverbs 68:55. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. All right, let's see. We'll go a little bit more. It's Sunday. We all have work tomorrow. And a lot of you were here for the members only. I don't want to take too much of your time today. You guys are also amazing, by the way. I appreciate you guys so much. The worst fake pastor, Joel Weben. The guy really wants his face. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Graham, Regina, George, Allen. Glenn, you're funny. I like all the things you say, Glenn. Yeah. Monday's here. I know. Isn't it sad, guys? Yeah. Thank you. All right, let's continue. Let's see what the next piece we're at. So that was, he talks about JFK. Cox claims Robinson's changed clothing multiple times. Yeah, claims. Notice that, including on the roof, but they won't show us anything. Multiple implausible and illogical clothing changes, including casual Dairy Queen visit. I know, ridiculous. Kash Patel ends press conference with, see you in Valhalla. Let's see. Will this go right to it? Let's remind ourselves of how cringe this was.
Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
Bizarre. Thanks, Cash. Thanks for making us not think you have anything to do with it, dude. Trump responds. So this is still on the 12th. No, yeah, isn't it? Yeah, this is the 12th. Trump responds, very good, to a reporter's question about his personal well-being after Charlie Kirk's assassination. Yeah, I know. His behavior has been very weird after all this. Netanyahu denies being responsible. I don't know. I don't remember. Did we watch that? I don't want it to mess with the... Let's see. Oh, wait. I didn't mean to do that.
And everything else, but before I let you go, I want you to address one thing, and it's just the absurdity of it. Some of the internet rumors that somehow Israel is behind the Charlie Kirk murder, and I don't believe it for 1 second, but I want you to make a statement. It's so absurd.
That's insane. Israel also changes the orbit of the moon. Israel pushes the sun. I mean, the whole thing is. It's not only insane, I think it's so absurd, so stupid, and so ridiculous. You can't believe that people are saying that. They just found the perpetrator. They'll get to the bottom.
Nope. They didn't find the perpetrator, bud. I think we're looking at the perpetrator, at least one of them, in my opinion. Not a very convincing actor. None of these people are. Tyler Robinson's family. So this is after 5 p.m. on the 12th. Tyler Robinson's family believes. Hold on. Let me make sure you guys can see me while I do this. All right. Tyler Robinson's family believes his apartment was staged by authorities. Interesting. I'm going to read the description. Tyler Robinson's family visited his apartment after his arrest and believed it had been staged by the authorities. They specifically noted that a furry bed was placed in Tyler's room, which they felt was an attempt to transfer attributes off his roommate, Lance Twiggs, onto Tyler. The family found the staging suspicious, particularly given that Lance was immediately cleared as a suspect and the raid was kept very quiet by authorities. This occurred while the family was being pressured into witness protection. Interesting. I don't remember hearing about that. God, so much has happened. It's like, and so much time, you kind of forget some of these data points. All right. So the next, on the 13th, Egyptian military plane SUBND departs Provo, Utah, 3 days after the assassination. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Emergency paving over the crime scene. Let's see if this goes straight. Crime scene demolished. Let's see. Let's see if they show it.
Goodman. Great Jason Goodman interviews. Now, this guy on the
it won't let me make it big for some reason. On some of these little pop-ups, it won't let me make it big. So, but yeah, I think that you guys, and please go watch TriggerSmart's follow-up with Jon Bray on the exploding mic. He goes into detail why he believes it wasn't an electrocution and the mic. He talks about the voltage, and yeah, I mean, he seems to know more than I do about it. I think it's still possible that even though it was a lower voltage, so he's saying that that mic itself didn't carry enough voltage to kill him by itself. Okay, well, I don't think it was one. I think it was both, and I think together, it definitely did the trick. Okay. But when you look at the covering up of the crime scene, that I think had a much more to do with the explosive, the cyclonite, the AB plastic, any kind of material that would have been left behind. Oh, I like Julia Pierce, the brief seekers. That's good. I like that too. I'll do a poll. You guys like a poll? If anyone wants a third one in there, say it real quick, and then I'll throw it. I need Adfleet to do a Fresh Prince of Israel video. I agree. That'd be hilarious. Brief seekers sounds like underwear. That's funny. Let me see, though. Let's do a poll real quick. We'll do a poll. Actually, that can't be a poll because it has to be yes or no. So it needs to be a Q&A. And we'll go... All right, and then I'll check back on that in a minute, okay? All right. Let's see. What was I saying? Oh, so the cyclonite, okay, this explosive material, if it gets on your skin, it could cause seizures, right? And it doesn't, like the decay, it doesn't break down quickly. It would be there for months in the grass, in the soil. People could go and do grass and soil samples and test it and see like, oh, there is explosive material in here. There could be microscopic pieces of the shrapnel of the plastic. I think that's why, well, I wonder why they did the top of the inside of the roof. Let's see if I go back to that. I'll click on it. Let's see what this one shows me. This one won't show me. but here, so not only did they fix this down here and pave over it and got rid of the grass and, paved over the soil, but up here, they did a lot of construction work and fixing the roof, the inside of this roof that was behind Charlie. And I don't know, I don't know that if I know he was underneath the canopy. Okay. So I don't know if any of the black plastic could have shot back that way or what, but they did a lot of work when they covered everything up. And to me, I think they were trying to get rid of any kind of evidence of the explosive material and the plastic, any kind of remnants of evidence, in my opinion. That's what I think they got rid of, or we're trying to, at least. Okay. Let's see. Yep. And that was on the 14th, you guys. So 4 days after. God, there's so many just bizarre things that happened with this. 7 charges filed against Tyler James Robinson on the 16th. On the 17th, Washington County Sheriff Nate Brooksby says Tyler Robinson is potentially suicidal. Right, but that was a lie. We know that. During that phone call, some information was provided about Tyler potentially having some suicidal ideations. We know that was a lie, though. It came out later he wasn't at all suicidal. So thanks. Again, on the 18th, Netanyahu denies role in Kirk assassination for a second time. Oh, it was a tweet? Let's see. Will it take me right to it? Oh, hold on. Oh, so it took me there, but it didn't show it. All right, here we go. So it's not just like a text tweet, it's a video tweet.
Joseph Goebbels, the Nazi propaganda minister, said that the bigger the lie, the faster it will spread. Well, somebody has fabricated a monstrous big lie that Israel had something to do with Charlie Kirk's horrific murder. This is insane. It is false. It is outrageous. Charlie Kirk was a giant, a once-in-a-century talent who defended freedom, defended America, defended our common Judeo-Christian civilization. Charlie loved Israel. He loved the Jewish people. He told me so in a letter that he sent me just a few months ago. One of my greatest joys as a Christian, he said, is advocating for Israel.
Yeah. Do you guys remember when we did the John Mappin interview, the British guy? So he actually knew about what the contents of this letter really were. And though he maybe did, Charlie probably did touch on his love and support for Israel. One of his main reasons of writing the letter was cautioning Bibi about what's the change of the temperature here in the United States with how we're looking at Israel and not wanting them to be involved in our country and our politics and what was going on, how so many of us were questioning our relationship, our country's relationship with them. So look, we got 107 people still here. We have 86 likes. If you haven't hit the like button, do me a favor, just hit the like. It's how you can help out the channel. I very much appreciate it. Okay. The worst actor award goes to the Fresh Prince of Little Hatsland. Yep. Why no blood from scene to SUV? That's the real question. It's really not. The guy, his name is Blake. He was the one that you can't see in the footage when they are over by Charlie. Most of them are taking what I believe is the explosive, what's left of the shrapnel and the device that was still on him. They're handing things off. They're taking things off of him. Blake actually, in my opinion, stuffed the wound with some gauze because there wouldn't be anything that wouldn't explain why there wouldn't be blood transferred onto the pavement while they're walking. However, Jon Bray goes into it being non-oxygenated blood from the carotid, not from the or it's either from the jugular or from the carotid. I have to go back and watch it. And that the consistency and the thickness, it's non-oxygenated blood is why it came out in that consistency and that color. But Blake is the only one with blood on his hands, blood on his shirt, and blood on his pants. And one of the things they for sure would have done, the first thing they would have done was stuff the wound. They would have packed the wound and then transported him. So, yeah, they plugged it with gauze. Yeah, 100%. Jesse's going to say that there's no blood because Charlie faked it. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I don't think there's any evidence. I think it's totally a stretch. I think it's much more plausible and very much more likely that Blake, who had blood on his hands, on his shirt, and on his pants, and who is down in the video, which I don't think I can show. I can actually look another time and make sure that it doesn't show anything graphic, and I can show you guys what I'm talking about. You see all of his team in that footage when Charlie's on the ground. They're handing things off. None of them have blood on their hands. None of them are touching the wound. But Blake, you can't see. He's down below where the camera can see, where the table is. You see him as they get up to carry him. That's when you see Blake's head pop up. He's the only one as they carry him to the SUV. There's photos. He has blood on his hands, blood on his shirt, and blood on his pants. And later in the Gary Melton interview, Brian Harpel says Blake was the one packing the wound. And so that's what I think. Yeah, Alka, I mean, whether he's an agent or just a paid disinformation person, you know, like Valhalla, which is like, that doesn't make me happy at all. I used to like Jesse and watch him a lot. And Valhalla, I'm a little bummed Barron is still kind of shouting out Jesse as someone that, you know, should be getting information from Candace in today's episode. He's like, Candace, if she needs help or whatever, could give leads to other content creators to continue the investigation, to help with the investigation. I don't think Jesse is on that list anymore. He thinks Erica Kirk and everyone at TPUSA is innocent. He says that they're good people. They could never do any of the things that Barron and Candace and others like myself think that they're capable of doing. He said his reason for doing this whole episode is to get us to get Candace and Barron to stop causing issues for TPUSA. And that his other reason of doing it is to help Erica and TPUSA out. I mean, okay. So I wish, I don't know if Barron watches all of his content, but he would see these are in the middle of these long form videos and he would see that. And I wish he did. Yes, Jesse said that. Yes. I showed a clip when I did a breakdown of his video. Yeah. His whole reason of doing this, he said, is to help TPUSA out because we're all doing all this damage. He wants us to stop causing all this issue for TPUSA and Erica. And he's saying that, we're doing it because we don't realize that the only thing that explains everything is that they're just helping Charlie pretend that he's not here and that Charlie's running the show, this whole disinformation campaign, that they're getting their orders from Charlie, that Charlie is running this whole thing. It's just, it's really unfortunate that he is now protecting Erica and TPUSA, defending them, saying that Erica's a daisy and could never say or do anything evil, that they all clearly loved Charlie and his friends and would never do anything to hurt or harm him. They have nothing to do with it. That he wants everyone that's causing issues for TPUSA to stop, and that he's wanting to help them. That's what he says. He's wanting to help them. And then he says, but if Charlie wants him to stop, all Charlie has to do is tell him and he'll stop. It's just crazy. Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah. All right, let's see. Is there any more supers? We got Julia Pierce, the Brief Seekers. I do like that. The Black Line Insiders. I like that as well. Oh, let me look at the Q&A. Why is the chat not there? Did I lose? No, I didn't lose connection. That's weird. Let me refresh this real quick. 1 second, guys, okay, there we go. Oh, that scared me. Well, how do I look at it? It's not letting me look at answers. I'll have to look at that some other time. I've only done a poll. I've never done the Q&A. This is the first time, and I can't find. Oh, do you guys answer just in the chat? Is that how it works? Okay, I see. You just answer in the chat. It's not like the poll where you answer in the poll and the poll gives you the data in percentage. It poses the question in the Q&A, and then your answers are just in the chat. Okay, got it. Renita, Jesse, stop. That's it. Just stop. I agree. Ridiculous, right? Blackline crew. I like all these, you guys. Okay, our next members live, we're gonna vote. We'll vote. I'll write down all the ones that have been offered here, and then in the next member live, we'll do a vote. Hey, for now, I'm gonna pause tonight's the timeline because I just want to engage with you guys for a minute before we get off, because it's almost 8, and which means it's later for a lot of people that are either in the East Coast or somewhere else. But I have a question. What time is a good time for everyone for members only on Sundays, or is Sunday a bad day, period, to do members only? Change the Q&A to a poll with 2 options. Ooh, I like you, Glenn Coco. How do you know so much, Glenn? You're smarter than me. All right, let me end the poll. Or end the Q&A. Yes, confirm. This will remove all questions in the question list. Yeah, okay. Now I'm going to do a poll. Start a poll. All right, it just says add. It just says yes or no. Oh, I can add a third. Can I change the yes? Oh, I can change it. Okay, so here we go. Hold on, it's going to take me a second. 1, we got blackliners. 2 is going to be, we had brief seekers. 3. What was 3? What was the third one? I know we got Blackline Crew. There was another one. Blackline Crew. Where'd it go? Blackline Crew. I feel like there was another one. Blackline Crew. Blackliners. We did that one. All right. Okay. So maybe those will be the 3. All right. So we'll go here. We'll go 1, 2, 3. Cool. All right. If I spelt it wrong, don't be mad. I'm trying not to spend so much time not engaging with you guys. All right. So you're Blackliners, click 1. Brief Seekers, click 2. Blackline Crew, click 3. Okay. Let me come back to you guys now over here. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I put the Blackliners in there. Yep. Okay. But you guys can see the poll though, right? I did start it, right? Yes, I did start it. Oh, okay, cool. Ooh, I can watch it go. Neck and neck. Right now, it's the Blackliners at 42, the Blackline Crew at 37, and the Brief Seekers at 21. That's where it's at. But I'll check at the end and I'll let you guys know what wins. And that will be the name of our community, which is cool. I love you guys. Bunch, let's see. Oh, okay. You want me to add a 4th one? Blackline Bunch instead of Blackline Crew. Let's see what this poll does, and we'll see what the choice is. And then, oh, we got the triple B, BBB. Wait, BB. I don't know. That sounds too close to like BB. What would the BBB stand for? Black BBB? Or, well, BLB is Blackline Brief. Apocalypse Now, tell me what the BBB stands for. Keep truth in, and you'll end up the the blackballed. Yeah, I hope not. Oh my gosh, dude. So, when I try, I mean, it's growing right now. So like, let me see how big the overall community is right now. The subscribers total is, in the beginning, I was able to like read every single person's email and every single person's, comment. However, we're now at 6,546. And it's getting a lot harder to stay reading everyone's comment all the time. But if it's closer to the top, I'm obviously able to do it, because I also try to respond. If it's a good post, it's a supportive and a positive post, or if it's a good question. I only delete and block if it's like really, really negative and inappropriate. Or if the person just clearly isn't here to be part of the community and they're just here to cause waves. One of the person was like, I'll just be honest. They were like, I came and I subbed, but then I saw you saying stuff about Jesse, and I unsubbed immediately. And then whoever this person was like, he has over 600,000 followers and you have 6,000. And then said something like, what does that tell you? And I'm like, oh, well, I mean, it tells me that he's done this a lot longer. I've been doing this for a couple of weeks. And it tells me that you care whether or not someone has thousands and thousands of subscribers. That doesn't mean he's honest. That doesn't mean he's got integrity. That doesn't mean he's independent. That doesn't mean he's intellectual. It doesn't mean anything. It means that 600,000 people subscribed. That's all it means. Subscribers isn't some sort of gauge for the quality of the content. It just means that 600,000 people subscribe. That's all it means. There's billions of people in the world. Okay. And just because someone has 600,000 or someone has 6, it doesn't mean that person with a lower subscriber count has less valid points or is less honest or is less integral. It doesn't mean anything like that. And the fact that that was the person's point, I was like, we just, I guess we have different measures of what validates someone or not. And so when I watch his content and the things that he says and how he acts, to me, that's how I gauge someone. I watch what they say and I watch what they do. I'm not looking at their subscriber count on whether or not I should listen to them. That has nothing to do with my analysis of whether or not someone is truthful and honest. And it shouldn't be for anyone. It just means 600,000 people hit the button. That's all it means. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Apocalypse Now. He's not getting into the nitty gritty. She was put in the corner. Yes, she was put in the corner, Bree. Let's see. Glenn Coco. Yeah, Alex Jones has a lot of freaking subs too, I agree. He has 600,000 subs. How many did he buy? Gemini the Queen. I believe that there's 600,000 people out there that watch him. I mean, I don't like the language. I don't like a lot of other things he's done. But really, nothing really turned me completely sideways on him until this whole thing that, to me, it does way more damage to the community than it does help. It divides us more. Those that are truthfully and honestly looking into the assassination. And now, like, it's getting a lot of people to believe that Charlie would fake his death, that Charlie would lie to all of us, that Charlie would run this psyop on all of us. And it's getting many people to stop looking at Erica and TPUSA as possible suspects, as people with suspect motive. To me, when you look at the outcome of these videos, that's, I think, a sign as the motive of why someone is doing it. And all you got to do is take him at his word. He told you why he's doing it. He said it very clearly multiple times in each video. So, let's see. All right. Next. Wait, did I miss someone's super? Oh, Glenn Coco gifted a Black Line Brief membership. Thank you, Glenn. You're amazing. Is everyone excited for tomorrow, though? Candace Owens, Erica Kirk deep dive day 1 starts tomorrow. I'm holding off on what we're going to cover. I mean, I always have like things in the wings. But I have a feeling it's going to be good. And I think there's going to be a lot in there that we can start to do our own investigation and covering topics on as well. And I'm also interested to see how much further Barron goes into these Qureshi family individuals and that David guy tomorrow. So this week is going to be a good week. I actually think this week is going to be a week that turns the tide on a lot of things, with Barron and Candace's investigation into different aspects and different people of this assassination and cover-up and plot and psyop. And I also think they're all going to be on high alert. Everyone else at TPUSA, there's going to be lots of disinformation. There's going to be lots of smear campaigns. They're going to be coming out with hit pieces, whether that's Gary, Graham Allen, Jack Posobiec, TPUSA, Andrew. I mean, all of them. They're going to be on full Tim Pool. They're all going to be out there trying really hard to get a lot of noise out there to try to lessen the effect of what Candace and Barron touch on this week. So I think it's going to be an interesting week, you guys. I think it really is. Yep, it can be bought, the sub number. Yes, it can. All you got to do is look at TPUSA's halftime show numbers and Benji Shapiro's numbers. You got to look at views versus likes and comments and engagement. False subscribers. Yeah, it's sad. But I mean, think of it as YouTube. YouTube is going to market everything that they can market. And there's things that it offers on here. And people with money and that don't care how they get their base to grow, they're going to take shortcuts, you know? Yeah. Not me, not I, not us, not this channel. But yeah. All right, cool. Doesn't mean he's amazing. Wait, Rick's what? Jim Bear, what was that about? Quality, not quantity. Let's see. I don't know if I missed one. Good people, that was one of the first psyops you were supposed to overcome in like kindergarten. Yeah. Yep. Quality, not quantity. Yes, I agree. Yep. It can be taught. Let's see. Rick Springfield. And then Jim Bear said, cool. Doesn't mean he's amazing. I don't know what that's in regards to. Weak argument. Oh, let's see. Nah, I meant the song. Because that's in regards to, what's his name? Oh, well, I can't see. I'm too far. Oh, I'm so far behind in the chat. Holy smokes. Oh, we got some more. We got, so Mystic gifted. Wait, Glenn gifted a membership. Mystic gifted a membership. Mystic bought a super sticker. Thank you. Bree bought a super sticker. You guys are so kind. You guys are so supportive. This community is so amazing. It is 8:02. Let's see. I'm going to make sure I read any last comments at the bottom. I hope it changes, but I'm totally black-pilled. I agree. Yeah. I mean, also, if you listen to the lyrics and everything that Kid Rock sang about, it wasn't really a Christian American performance. It really wasn't. It wasn't what Bad Baby did, but it wasn't something that could have been really good, like a country music maybe singer, like a real country music singer that doesn't sing about some of the things. I forget who it was that did a breakdown of the lyrics of the songs that Kid Rock did. And it talked about a lot of explicit behavior. So, I mean, I know that Candace said it was the young lady that performed was good, though, but I don't know who she is. So, yeah. All right, let's see. I think they're going to this every year. Yeah, because you guys got to remember, hi, merch is fire. That's amazing. Hi, merch is fire. Who's merch? our merch is coming as soon as we can get it. But supposedly Andrew Kolvitz said that this whole halftime show thing was Charlie's idea, and that Charlie talked about this a lot, and that he always wanted to do this. And so this was something they did like in memory of Charlie. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it is or not. Please, everyone, make sure to hit the like. I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you guys get a good night's sleep. God bless you guys. I will see you guys next time. Okay.